Have you ever noticed that someone can be talking to you and you're already thinking about what you're going to say next, how you're going to be respond, what you might have in common or not have in common? And the moment something uncomfortable in the conversation shows up, you go to fix it, figure it out, expand on it, explain it, solve it, move past it, improve it. But you're not actually really listening, are you? After this week, I found myself wondering, when did we stop listening? When were we taught to stop listening? It's not fixing, not coaching, not teaching, listening. Yeah. So welcome to this week's Sunday Reset. Susan Lazar Hart here, your transformational mindset coach, working with women in midlife who spent years taking care of everyone else, being responsible, capable, dependable, and strong. Women who have built careers, raised families, and supported others and achieved so much, yet somewhere along the way, they find that they've lost that desire in creating a life they love. They're distanced from their own knowing and their own sense of what feels true. That's what I want to explore today, is when did we stop listening to ourselves? Years ago, one of my daughters was telling me about something that she was going through. I remember it just as if it happened yesterday. We were on the phone, and I don't remember exactly what the issue was, but I do remember my response. I jumped in and reached for one of those personal development phrases that I've heard and that I use, the kind that sounds wise, the kind that contains truth. Must have been something like, well, don't forget where you put your attention on grows. And everything's always out working out for me. Don't forget to say that. And all of a sudden she interrupted me and said, she was crying. And she said, Mom, when did you become a robot? Yeah. I remember laughing, and it was a nervous laugh because there was a truth to that. She wasn't asking me for quotes or wisdom. She wasn't asking me for a lesson. She was asking me to just hear her. She wanted to felt like she had been heard. And in that moment, the truth was I wasn't listening. I was going for what I could offer, repeating something I believed, repeating something I'd heard somewhere else. But I wasn't actually being present with her. And in that moment, I recognized that how easy it is to become too attached to what we know that we stop hearing what actually is being said. Now, I see that everywhere, in conversations, in relationships, in coaching, in personal growth, in everyday life. Someone shares a struggle and we jump to fix it. Someone shares a fear and we rush to reassure them. Someone shares a problem and we rush to solve it. And sometimes what they're asking for is not a solution. More often than not, they're asking for your presence. Sometimes they're asking just to be heard. And the more I reflected on that moment, the more I began to notice another place where this happens, inside ourselves. How often do we try to fix ourselves before we've actually listened to ourselves? How often do we explain away a feeling before we've even felt it? How often do we talk to ourselves out of something because it doesn't make sense yet? We totally ignore the pop from the universe, that whisper that says, over here, and find all the reasons and justifications of no, why not? Not why. How often do we search for another answer instead of being curious about that whisper, about what we're already aware of? You know, not long ago, I was having a conversation with somebody that I truly respect. Thoughtful, kind, caring, someone with genuinely good intentions. And I noticed something. Every time I said something, he added another layer. If I shared an awareness, he offered a teaching. If I shared an observation, he offered more information. Nothing was wrong with that, but it made me aware of how often do I do that? How often do we do that? How often are we waiting for our turn to contribute, our turn to teach, to explain, instead of simply being with what is being shared? That's a gift, to be with what is being shared and not jumping in to fix it, change it, do something with it. And so I wondered, what if we become so uncomfortable with not knowing that we've rushed in to fill the space? And what if we've forgotten the value of sitting with a question, of being in the question? the value of listening without fixing, the value of being present without needing to make something happen. Because some of the most important moments in my life didn't arrive with certainty. They arrived as a quiet awareness, a knowing, a feeling, a pull. Something asking for my attention. So what's asking for your attention? Are you trying to explain it away, fix it, talk yourself out of it? The truth is, listening requires presence. Listening requires trust. Listening requires us to slow down long enough to hear what's actually here, not what should be here, not what someone else says should be here, what is actually here in your space, in your universe, in your heart. So before you begin your week, I'd like to leave you with a simple practice. The next time you feel confused, the next time you're trying to solve something, the next time you find yourself searching for answers, pause. Before you fix it, before you explain it, before you talk yourself out of it, ask, what is asking for my attention right now? And then listen. Maybe journal it out. Maybe just go for a walk with it. But listen, not to the loudest voice, not for the smartest answer, not for the most logical explanation. Listen for what feels true for you. Listen for what keeps tapping you on the shoulder. Listen for what you've been too busy to hear. That's self-trust, not a concept, not a framework, just you listening to you. Because sometimes the greatest wisdom is not found in another answer. Sometimes it's found in finally hearing what has been trying to speak to you all along. This is the work I love, helping women reconnect with themselves, not through more information, but through self-awareness, through presence, and learning to trust what they already know to be true and creating a life they love. Now, if this conversation resonated with you, I'd love to hear what stood out. Come and join us inside Fearless Women Rising, a private community for women who are done explaining themselves away and ready to start trusting what they know. The link is in the comments. And if you want to go further than a community can take you, know that I work with women one-on-one, not to give more answers, but to help you hear the ones you already have. Yeah. If it feels like that's what you need, reply to this email. It's just a conversation. No pressure, not to fix you, not to give you more answers, but to help you hear the ones that you already have. And if that feels like what you need right now, reply to this email, this video, wherever you're catching this, on YouTube, send me a message. Send me a message. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Here's to creating lives we love living, one bold step at a time. Have a beautiful week. And remember, live boldly, love greatly, and be that fearless leader you came here to be, one who's willing to be the gift of just being present and listening. What if that's all that's being asked of you? Let me know what's popping for you. I come and check in every day. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Fearless Women Rising, Susan Lazar Hart Coaching, pop in a like, a share, a subscribe, because when two or more are gathered, what can we create? Big love from Montreal. Mwah. See you next Sunday. Hey, and if you think that there's somebody you know that would benefit from this, please share it with them. I'd love to spread the news about the gift and the joy of just being present and listening.